Mrs. Kang's principal attorney rose, his costly attire glistening under the courtroom illumination. Quote, documents flashed onto the screen, photographs of Adesai at various residences, bank statements showing irregular deposits, employment records with inexplicable gaps. Quote, 1. The lawyer's voice was smooth, practiced. This is not a stable parent. This is a woman evading something or concealing something. Lee Minho, the junior lawyer, frantically shuffled his papers. Your Honor, I object. On what grounds, Counselor? Judge Moon inquired. Lee Minho appeared flustered. I'm not sure of the exact legal term, but this feels wrong. Mrs. Kang's lawyer smirked. Quote 6. Judge Moon regarded Adesai with a hint of compassion. Quote 7. I've been attempting to contact them, but... Get off me! I'm not finished! They dragged her toward the doors. She struggled every step. Ara! She screamed. Mama loves you! Don't forget Mama loves you! The courtroom doors slammed shut. Judge Moon's voice was weary. Given the evidence presented, or lack thereof, and Miss Okonkwo's behavior today, I'm granting full permanent custody to Mrs. Kang. All visitation rights are terminated. The gavel fell. Mrs. Kang had won. The security guards shoved Adesai into their car and drove her to the street near her hotel. They practically ejected her. She stumbled onto the sidewalk, her professional clothes torn, her face streaked with tears and mascara. People stared. Some took photographs. She didn't care. She walked to her hotel in a daze, rode the elevator up, opened her door, closed it behind her. Then she looked in the mirror. The woman staring back was a stranger, broken, defeated, destroyed. Her long braids, the braids Ara loved to play with, hung heavy on her shoulders. Ara used to practice braiding Adesai's hair, her little fingers clumsy but determined. Adesai picked up scissors. She cut and cut and cut. The braids fell to the floor like dead snakes. Her natural short hair emerged, uneven and choppy. She looked at herself again, a shadow. That's all she was now. Her phone rang, a Nigerian number, her friend Kioma. Ada, I saw the news. I'm so sorry. Adesai couldn't speak, just sobbed. Listen to me. Kioma's voice was firm. This is not the end. You hear me? This is not the end. They took her. They took my baby. I know, Ada, but you can't surrender. You have to stay strong. You have to work diligently and get your life in order. That's the only way Ara will be proud of you. That's the only way you'll get her back. How? How can I get her back? The judge said, the judge is not God and Mrs. Kang is not invincible. Chioma paused. Ada, you need to prioritize your well-being. Leave that hotel room, breathe some fresh air, have a meal, get some ice cream. Remember how you and Ara used to enjoy ice cream every Friday? Do that for her. Be resilient for her. Ad closed her eyes. Ice cream, a seemingly minor detail. Yet, Kioma was correct. She couldn't completely unravel. Thank you, she whispered. Thank you for reminding me of who I am. After their call ended, Adis gazed at her reflection in the mirror once more. The short hair, the red eyes, the shattered woman. But deep within, a flicker of defiance remained. She had to believe that. She drifted off to sleep on the hotel bed, emotionally drained. The following morning, Adis compelled herself to rise. She donned fresh clothes, obscured her eyes with sunglasses, and proceeded to a nearby eatery. She yearned for sustenance, for normalcy, for a renewed sense of humanity. As she walked through the hotel corridor, someone collided with her. Watch where you're going. Ad looked up. Sujin, Ji-hun's former fiancé. They exchanged glances. Are you here to mock me? Ada's voice was sharp. Come to witness the defeated woman? What? No. Sujin appeared genuinely taken aback. I wanted to speak with you. Speak with me? Why? Sujin surveyed the bustling hallway. Not here? Can we go somewhere private? So you can humiliate me in private instead of publicly. Please, just hear me out. Against her better judgment, Daisy followed Sujin to her hotel room. It was elegant, opulent, characteristic of a high-end establishment. I witnessed what they did to you in court, Sujin said softly. What Mrs. Kang did, what Ji-hun did, and I want to help you. Ad laughed bitterly. Help me? Why would you help me? I'm the woman who ruined your engagement. You didn't destroy anything. Sujin's voice was sharp. That family destroyed it. Mrs. Kang destroyed it. She exploited me like a pawn, and she's exploiting you in the same manner. AD studied her. What do you want? I want to help you rebuild your life, find employment, start anew. You can't fight them if you're broken. A job here? I don't know anyone. I'm alone in this city. Sujin retrieved her phone. I know people. Good people. Let me make some calls. Why? A asked again. Why help me? Sujin's eyes hardened. Because Mrs. Kang needs to lose for once. Because I'm weary of people like her always prevailing. And because... She paused. Because you're fighting for your daughter. That's more than Ji-Hyun ever fought for anything. She made a call. Rapid Korean. Then hung up. Done. My friend manages a marketing firm. They require a senior consultant. It pays well. Very well. I'm not qualified. You speak 4 languages. You're educated. You're a survivor. Sujin met her eyes. You're qualified, and you'll be brilliant. Ada felt tears well up. Why are you doing this? Because we women need to support each other, especially against families like the Kangs. Sujin handed her a business card. Start Monday, and Ada, don't abandon your fight to get your daughter back. The game isn't over. Quote, You're new here? He inquired. Yes, just started. Well, you're very talented. I hope we collaborate more. That simple compliment made her feel human again. Over the next few weeks, Park Young found reasons to visit their office, to consult with Aze specifically, to seek her opinion on campaigns. Would you like to get coffee sometime? He asked one Friday, to discuss the Peterson account. Of course. Ade hesitated, but Guyoma's words echoed. Stay strong. Live your life. Quote, 3. Coffee evolved into dinner. Dinner evolved into long walks along the Han River. Jung was easy to converse with. He was unaware of her past, unaware of Aura or the Kongs. He simply knew Ad, the woman she was now. And slowly, painfully, she began to heal. Meanwhile, at the Kong mansion, Arisa sat at her window, gazing out at Seoul's lights. She hadn't smiled in weeks. Mrs. Kang was stern, cold, utterly unlike Mama's warmth. Everything here revolved around rules and propriety and being a proper Korean lady. Aura loathed it. She missed London, missed her aunties, missed jollof rice, and Mama's terrible singing and bedtime stories. She missed Mama. Mrs. Kang swept into her room without knocking. Era, come, I want to show you something, she said, presenting a tablet. On the screen was a news article photo of Ada laughing with a man, Park Young. Your mother doesn't love you, Mrs. Kang said coldly. She's already moved on. She's with another man now. She's forgotten about you. Aura stared at the photo. Mama looked happy, happier than she'd looked in months. She's lying, Aura whispered. Lying? The photo is right there. My mother, who endured 11 years for me, wouldn't simply forget me. Aura's voice was firm. There's no evidence. The shelters don't retain records for safety. Convenient, Mrs. Kang's lawyer interjected. Every questionable period in her life has a convenient excuse with no substantiation. Adase looked desperately at June. He sat motionless, staring straight ahead. June, please, she whispered. Tell them the truth. Slowly June stood. The courtroom fell silent. Your Honor, his voice was cold, formal. I need to add my testimony. No, Adase gasped. Don't do this. Quote, 8. I've reviewed all the evidence my mother's legal team has compiled. Quote, 9. The pattern of behavior deeply concerns me. As Aura's father, I cannot in good conscience endorse Miss Okonkwo's custody claim until these discrepancies are clarified. Quote, 10. You're lying, Adase's voice cracked. You know why I fled. You know what your mother did. I know what you've recounted to me, June stated flatly. But I have no proof any of it is true. What I do have proof of is 11 years of running, hiding, and keeping my daughter from me. The betrayal was complete. Judge Moon examined the evidence, then looked at both parties. You're trying to make me hate her, but I won't. Mrs. Kang's face hardened. You're just like her, stubborn, foolish. I'm proud to be like her. We'll see how long that lasts. But Aura didn't waver. She knew her mother. Knew Mama was fighting somehow, somewhere. She just had to wait. 3 months had passed. A day's life had stabilized. She had a job, an apartment, and Jae Sung. They'd grown close. He made her laugh, made her feel seen. One evening, he brought gifts, flowers, chocolates, and a package from a courier. Addis opened it, legal documents, a business card, Barrister Park, Jung, family law attorney. She looked up, shocked. "You're a lawyer?" He smiled sheepishly. "I apologize for not mentioning it earlier. I didn't want you to feel pressured or as though I was offering help out of pity." "You're a lawyer." Her mind raced. A family lawyer, one of the best in Seoul, actually. He said it without arrogance. "And I know about your daughter." Ad's breath caught. Quote, that's a quote, 4. His voice softened. Quote, 5, quote, 7. He took her hands. Quote, 8. Tears streamed down Olda's face. "You'd do that? I'd do anything for you." His eyes were sincere. "Let me file an appeal. Let me get your daughter back." "Can you win?" "I've never lost a case." He smiled. "I don't intend to start now." Barrister Park filed the appeal that week. News spread through Seoul's legal community like wildfire. The Kangs received the papers at breakfast. Mrs. Kang's hand trembled as she read. Barrister Park. She got Barrister Park. Ji-hyun looked up. "Who?" "The best family lawyer in Korea. He's never lost a case. Never." Mrs. Kang's face was pale. "How did she afford him?" Mr. Kang read over her shoulder. "This is bad. If Park is representing her, he must believe he can win. He can't win. We have the ruling. We have nothing. If Park identifies flaws in our case..." Mr. Kang's voice was grave. "This woman is more resourceful than we anticipated." Mrs. Kang's face twisted with rage. "Then we'll destroy her completely." Quote, 3. "Will we, Mother?" Quote, 4. "Maybe it's time to stop." "Stop! Stop!" Mrs. Kang turned on him. "That woman has been nothing but trouble since the day you met her, and now she's hired the best lawyer in Seoul to take Arrow away from us." Quote, 7. "Ara is miserable here." Quote, 8. "She cries every night. She won't eat. She hates us. She'll adjust." Quote, 10. "No, she won't." Ji-hoon stood. "Because we took her from her mother, and that's something she'll never forgive." He walked out, leaving his parents stunned. The courtroom was packed. The news media waited outside. This case had become famous. The Nigerian woman versus Korea's most powerful family. Ad walked in with Barrister Park. She looked different, confident, strong. Her short natural hair was elegantly styled. Her suit was expensive. She looked like someone who belonged. Mrs. Kang's lawyers whispered nervously among themselves. They knew Park's reputation. Then Ad saw her. Ara, her daughter, sat in the front row, required to attend. She was so thin, so pale. Her skin had lost its glow. Ada's heart shattered. What had they done to her baby? Ara looked up, saw her mother. Their eyes met across the courtroom, and Ara smiled, small, fragile, but real. "I love you, Mama," she mouthed. Ada mouthed back, "I'm coming for you, baby." Judge Moon entered. A different judge this time, Judge Kim. Younger, known for being fair. "We're here for the appeal of the Kang custody case. Barrister Park, you're representing Miss Okonkwo?" "Yes, Your Honor." Barrister Park stood, commanding the room. "And we have substantial new evidence to present." Mrs. Kang's lawyer stood. Quote, 5. Quote, "Hensix." Barrister Park interrupted. Or Ains, quote, 7. The battle was about to begin. Will Barrister Park emerge victorious from the trial and successfully bring a day back to Era? Or will the formidable Kang family manage to compromise the lawyer, proving themselves too powerful even for Seoul's top legal mind? What fresh evidence is Barrister Park prepared to present? And how will June respond once the full truth is unveiled? Discover the answers in the concluding episode. Given the unsettling gaps in Miss Okonkwo's history, the absence of documentation, and the father's testimony, I'm granting temporary custody to Mrs. Kang for 30 days. Miss Okonkwo will have supervised visitation 4 hours per week while we investigate further. Your Honor, please. Adise stood. She's my daughter. I raised her for 11 years. 30 days, Miss Okonkwo. Prove your story or lose her permanently. The gavel descended. 6 hours later, Adase sat in the Kang family's waiting room, her hands trembling. In a few minutes, she'd have to inform Ara that she was staying here with the grandmother who disliked her, with the father who had betrayed them. The door opened. Ara ran in, still hopeful. "Mama, can we go home now? I don't like it here. Grandmother is scary, and father won't talk to me." "Baby, sit down." Adase's voice faltered. Quote 6. Ara's face fell. She knew somehow. She already knew. The judge said, "You have to stay here for 30 days. 30 days? Ara's eyes widened. "But that's a whole month. Mama, no. Tell them no." "I can't, baby. I tried." "Then we'll run away like we did before. We'll go back to London and—" "We can't." Adase pulled her daughter close, inhaling her scent, committing it to memory. "If we run, I'll lose you forever." "But father promised. He said he'd protect us." Ara's voice dissolved into sobs. Quote 6. Adase had no response. She simply held her daughter and wept. Mrs. Kong appeared in the doorway. Quote 7. Quote 8. Quote 9. Mrs. Kang's voice was frigid. "The sooner you accept that, the easier this will be." A driver appeared to collect Adase's bags, Ara's bags, for the car that would transport them to the Kang mansion. Adase walked behind like a ghost. The Kang mansion was enormous, cold, entirely unlike the warm flat in London with its vibrant walls and family photographs. Mrs. Kang stood in the marble entryway. "Ara will have the best education, the best opportunities, everything you could never provide her." "She had love," Adase whispered. "She had a mother who would die for her. Love doesn't fund university. Love doesn't open doors in society." Mrs. Kang smiled. "You never belonged in our world, Miss Okonkwo. You were a mistake from the outset. And now, finally, that mistake is being rectified." Ara clung to her mother. "Mama, don't leave me here." "I have to, baby, but I'll see you Wednesday, 2 hours, and then Sunday, 2 more hours. Adase's voice trembled. Quote 7. She had to pry her daughter's hands from her coat, had to walk away while Ara screamed for her, had to leave her child in the care of people who perceived her as an inconvenience. The door closed behind her. Adase stood on the steps of the Kang mansion, empty-handed, devastated. Adase immersed herself in seeking proof. She contacted every women's shelter in Manchester. Most refused to speak with her. Those that did had no records from the 2018. "We don't keep names or details," one shelter director explained. "That's the entire purpose. We safeguard women by rendering them invisible." "But I need proof. I was there." "I'm sorry, we can't assist you." Call after call yielded nothing. Email after email went unanswered. The days dragged on. Each supervised visit with Ara was agony. 2 hours in a sterile room with a social worker observing, taking notes, judging. Ara grew quieter with each visit, more distant. Mrs. Kang was poisoning her. Adase could see it, slowly turning her daughter against her. 29 days passed. Adase had nothing. No proof, no evidence, no hope. The courtroom was packed. Mrs. Kang sat with her 3 lawyers, confident. Ji-hoon sat beside her, his face inscrutable. Adase sat alone. Lee Min-ho hadn't even appeared. Judge Moon entered. "We're here for the final custody determination regarding Kang Ara. Miss Okonkwo, have you located evidence supporting your claims?" "I've tried, Your Honor. I've called every shelter, every—" "That's not what I inquired. Do you possess evidence? Yes or no?" Adase's voice was barely a whisper. "No, Your Honor." Mrs. Kang's lawyer stood. Quote 1. Quote 2. Adase shot to her feet. Quote 3. Quote 4. Quote 5. Quote 6. Quote 7. Adase's voice rose. "All lies!" Judge Moon held up her hand. "Miss Okonkwo, please sit down." "No, I won't sit down while they take my daughter." Tears streamed down her face. "Isn't this too much? You allowed me 4 hours first and now no seeing of my daughter at all? Why? Why does the man who impregnated me get to be free while I suffer for it?" "Ms. Okonkwo." But Adase wasn't finished. She turned to Mrs. Kang, who was already smiling her victorious smile. I brought my daughter here to see her father, just to see him, to know him, and you took her from me. Adisay's voice shook with rage. But there's a proverb. Nothing is hidden forever. One day your schemes will be exposed. She turned to June. And you mommy's boy, you let your mother control you, right? You're a fool, a weak, pathetic fool. Miss Okonkwo, that's enough. Judge Moon's voice was sharp. It's not enough. It will never be enough. You're letting them steal my child. Security guards approached. You think you've won? Adisay laughed bitterly at Mrs. Kang. You think this is over? I'll fight you until my last breath. The guards seized her arms.